Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are 40 and up who love their tech. And this video is going to be a mini comprehensive video on my newly purchased Acer Switch 7. Again, this computer has been introduced by Acer in 2017, released in 2018, and I just happened to get it in 2019 at a refurbished price. And I just want to make this video because there's not a whole lot of videos that fully talks about this absolutely fantastic 2-in-1 detachable keyboard PC. So that's why I'm making the video. So let me get started because I gotta go pick up my wife in about 15 minutes at the airport. So let's get started. So going over quick specs, and I wrote down everything on using Samsung Notes. Yeah, believe it or not, I got Samsung Notes on my PC. Figured out how to do this by going on XDA. That's something, I don't know, but XDA, you should know about it. Anyway, quick specs on this computer: 13.5 inch screen, 2.5 pounds without the keyboard, 3.6 with the keyboard, so it makes it kind of heavy to hold. One USB Type A port, which is 3.0 right here inside, and above that is a USB Type C / Thunderbolt port. So it has Thunderbolt capabilities. And one of the best features on this tablet, or 2-in-1 detachable keyboard PC, that you won't find in any 2-in-1 detachable keyboard PC, I'm not talking about Yoga, but the detachable keyboard has a dedicated NVIDIA MX150 graphics chip or card on the inside of the PC, which gives us great capabilities to play certain PC games at medium or higher speeds. So that makes this pretty cool. So that is enough for the quick specs, and let me go into what I believe are the pros or the things that I like about this computer. Now, from my research, because I've had a Samsung Galaxy Book for a very long time and have used that for personal and for work because of the writable screen, detachable keyboard, things like that, light to carry. It just wasn't doing it for me, especially when it came to playing PC games. And I was tired of playing a lot of games, especially Grand Theft Auto 5 at very low settings. So I was in the market for a new PC. And I mean, before really looking at this, I was looking at a whole bunch of them because there's so many computers on the market. There's not a whole lot in the 2-in-1 detachable keyboard PCs. The Microsoft Surface Book comes into mind as being the best one on the market, but also the most expensive on the market. And I did not want to pay $1,700, $1,800 for just a computer. You know what I'm saying? Even at used prices, they were still pretty high. So I looked into Dell, HP, things like that. I even actually bought a Dell 2-in-1 detachable keyboard, the 5290 series. Actually had that for maybe a couple of days, and I mean, even though you could take it apart and upgrade the SSD, upgrade the RAM, things like that, I just wasn't impressed because it still had an Intel graphics card on the inside. I wanted NVIDIA. And so by doing some research, I happened to find out about this one. Not a lot of people did a lot of reviews. A lot of people did not really like this, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Actually, every computer people like and don't like, so it really doesn't make a difference on just reviews. You just get a computer based on how you're going to use it and how you're going to like it or dislike it. So even though, like I said, of the small reviews, I still was interested in this because, like I said, because this is being the only 2-in-1 detachable keyboard PC that has a dedicated NVIDIA graphics card inside of it. So, getting to the pros, these are the things that I really like about this computer. First thing, Thunderbolt. Why is Thunderbolt important? Man, I mean, yeah, you can connect a Thunderbolt dock to it, such as this one right here that I have. But my Thunderbolt dock is really cool because this is the Lenovo Thunderbolt 3 graphics dock. And while it's just like your normal dock, your average dock that has the display ports, HDMI, Ethernet, you know what I'm saying, USB Type A ports, 3 of them, This one has, as you saw the symbol, a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 graphics card inside of here. Look how slim, sleek, and light this is. So to carry this and have this alongside of my Acer Switch 7, yes, I can still use the MX50 that's inside of the computer, but if I want that extra oomph and want to run games at high settings and maybe even ultra settings, having this will give me that opportunity to do so. So Thunderbolt is that right there is a deal breaker. If it doesn't have Thunderbolt, I mean, the Surface Book doesn't have it, and it probably won't ever, because I kind of understand Microsoft's business scheme. They have the graphics card, the GTX 1050 or 1060, depending on the size you get, embedded in the keyboard of the book, and you have to attach the screen or the tablet mode onto the keyboard in order for you to use the NVIDIA card. So for Microsoft's sake, in order for you to, like I said, get that particular boost in graphics, you gotta have the keyboard. They don't want you to have Thunderbolt where you can buy a separate graphics dock or graphics dock to put in, let's say, your own graphics card to boost up the graphics power of the tablet itself. Microsoft doesn't want you to do that. They want you to buy their products the way that they make it, so that they can make all the money that they can make, which is a great business scheme. If I was Microsoft, I would do the same thing. But these other companies, Thunderbolt, they're adding that to the computers. Thank you very much. Thank you, Acer. So I get the best of both worlds. One NVIDIA graphics card in this, and they have extra oomph with the graphics dock that I have on the side. Another pro is the pop-out kickstand. What makes this really, really cool is this pop-out kickstand. Let me move this keyboard. So when you put it in like this, it fits nice and flush. You can't take it out with your fingers. In order for this to come out, there are two nudges or the buttons on the bottom here. You just put it on the table like this. Look at that. That is so cool. You don't have to worry about messing with it yourself. It just pops right on out, and it can adjust to different angles, as you can see here. So I can get down really, really low and sit up back high, and boom, there you go. Nice, cool pop-up keyboard. Another pro. I knew that was going to happen. There we go. Detachable keyboard. And like I said, because of the detachable keyboard, this makes this a little bit lighter. Makes about a pound lighter. So what you can do, if you have the opportunity, get yourself a nice, very light Bluetooth keyboard to pair with this. This is a whole lot lighter and has the same functions as just your regular keyboard for the Acer, and this does wonders and just makes everything light. And I have myself a Bluetooth mouse. I have my trusty Lenovo Yoga mouse that I use with this, and it works fantastically. So, detachable keyboard makes things lighter. Fingerprint reader. Now, this computer has some very giant bezels, but on this side of the bezel on the computer or the PC is a fingerprint reader that is about right here, and it can wake it up really, really quickly. So it's really cool to have the fingerprint reader right there. That is awesome. Another thing that's cool about this, lots of ways to sign into the PC. So the fingerprint reader is just one way. Sign in options. Fingerprint reader is just one way. You also have Windows Hello alongside the fingerprint reader, Windows Hello PIN, security key, password, and picture password. How cool is that? So all those different options to log into your computer, sign into your computer, that makes it awesome. Another thing, lightweight-ish. Now, like I said, without the keyboard, 2.6 pounds, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So it's still kind of heavy. This is definitely a lot heavier than my Samsung Galaxy Book that I sold to get this. But even though it's lighter than that, it doesn't have all the features that this has, so I can compensate for the extra heaviness, and I have a compensation for that, so I'll talk about that later. Another pro, of course, NVIDIA graphics embedded in the computer. So something this light that have NVIDIA graphics in it, that's just awesome. Oh, another thing that really makes this fantastic, one of the best things, it's fanless. There are no fans on this computer at all. Playing a game on here, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a joy, you know what I'm saying? Not as joyous as having an RTX 2060 card or 2070 card, but still, you can still play some pretty good games, you know, at pretty good speeds, but you're not going to hear any air blowing out of the computer. It is completely fanless. It has a dual cooling system mod inside of the computer, which makes it really, really awesome. Another thing that I like about this, you can use Samsung Note styluses on here. Now, about the stylus, that's another thing that I wrote in here too. The stylus stores inside of the PC. Check it out. Acer made this, and they really looked at the Samsung Note series when making this. So you got your fingerprint reader like a Note, and you got your stylus right in the PC to write on here, and I think that is great. That is so awesome that you got your stylus right there. I'm using my Note 9 to record this video. I'm about to take the stylus out of my Note 9. Here it is right here. Watch this. This also works on it, and it is great. So you got lots of different options when it comes to styluses, and you should know that styluses of the Note, there's even generic brands. These are inexpensive. You don't have to buy a $50 pen, $60 pen that Dell offers or Microsoft offers. You can get yourself a nice $10. You can get 3 for 10, 3 for 15 on Amazon, these styluses here, and you got yourself a whole lot of different styluses to use on this bad boy. You can only use one at a time, but maybe there's an option where you can use 2, but still, different options for styluses. That is awesome right there. And the last thing that is really good about this, I bought this, and I told you I bought it refurbished, and I bought this at a really good price. Now, when it was introduced in 2017, but sold in 2018, it sold at a retail value of $1,700, I believe. That's kind of expensive, and that's what's understandable because this has a 512 gigabyte SSD on the inside, the NVIDIA graphics card, 8th generation Core i7 processor. So it has a lot of nice bells and whistles. So $1,700 asking price, and the keyboard and stylus is included. And the stylus is 4,096 pressure points on the screen, so that's really, really cool. And the stylus has no battery. That's another thing that's really cool about this. 0 battery, you don't have to worry about this running out of power to use. So for $1,700 at the time, that was good. But I got this refurbished for $1,000. Now, that may still seem like a lot, but compared to, like I said, the retail price, $700 off, great deal. And I sold my Galaxy Book and my GPD Win 2, unfortunately, to cover the cost for this, and the amount that I sold for both, I sold both for $950. So I'm only paying $50 out of pocket for this PC. Am I happy? Heck yeah, I am. It's almost time for me to go. So let me cut this short. Gotta go pick up the wife. So cons, things I don't like about this. Let's make this. Can I make it bigger? I cannot. So cons I don't like about this so far. And I do have some compensations for the cons because if you look at the cons list, I have some asterisks next to some of the things that are on that list that I have compensations for that can kind of make it something good. So, as I mentioned, because this is fanless, it is going to run hot. This is an aluminum body, so with aluminum, it's going to store heat. And I mean store heat. It's going to get pretty hot, especially when you're playing some graphically intense games. But I do have a solution for that. So like I said, that's a small drawback. Lack of ports. Yeah, it may only have one USB-C, but most, you're not going to find a lot of detachable, oh snap, I got to get rolling because my wife just landed. Detachable PCs that have USB-C type A's. Okay, I'm about to pause this because I gotta go. I'm gonna continue this when I get back. Okay, I'm back to finish the video out. Okay, continuing with the things that are a little lacking on the laptop or the computer, excuse me. If you hear anything in the background, my wife is back and she's talking with her girlfriend. So I'll talk a little bit louder so that I can drown her out. So, as I was saying, lack of ports. Having one USB Type A and one USB Type C / Thunderbolt port is kind of acceptable. You're not going to normally have a whole lot of different peripherals or things like that sticking out of your computer. For the most part, you can just use one particular peripheral, such as an external SSD or HDD, something like that. So you're not going to really have too much. But if you do need more ports, I have a small solution for that as well. But for some people, the lack of ports can be a deal breaker when buying a PC. The next thing, you can't hold it with one hand very long. I've already read that in reviews and things like that, and was a little concerned, especially because my Samsung Galaxy Book was, because I sold it, a lot lighter than this, and using it in the classroom was a complete joy. So I normally don't usually use it with one hand, but if I happen to want to use it with one hand, draw on it or something like that, or hold it in portrait mode, then that could be cumbersome or a small problem because of the weight, but I do have a small solution for that. The next thing, 512 gigabyte storage already embedded. That's good, but in these days and times, it's not great. And the reason why it's not that great is because games are becoming larger. Games are becoming a lot larger, which takes up a lot more space. And so 512 these days is going to take up a lot of, it's not enough space for a lot of these graphically intense games, such as, for example, Final Fantasy 15. That game is, I would say, 50 gigabytes large or something like that. Actually, with the expansion, the one that I've seen with the expansion, Aiden, the Aiden thing, his story, the bad guy antagonist, with the actual game and that expansion, that's going to be like 100 gigabytes large, maybe a little bit more. So, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Man, my wife is like loud. She's talking like she in 2nd grade in the cafeteria. Anyway, getting back to the hard drive or the SSD drive. Yeah, a lot of these games are graphically intense, and that means that they're large in size. Your NBA 2K20, for example, that's between 70 and 75 gigabytes large. Final Fantasy 15 is large. Grand Theft Auto, Gears of War 5, all of those games are pretty large. So you want to make sure you have enough space for all of these high-end games, plus other games that you may have in your arsenal. So if you have emulated games, even some of those games can be quite large, or the collection of games that you have can be quite large. And so 512 is good, but in these days and times, it's not going to cut it at all. So I suggest, or would suggest, I mean, it's probably going to be happening anyway, 1 terabyte may be the new standard pretty soon, SSD, and probably SATA. And getting to the SSD, another kind about this, the SSD in this computer is a SATA drive, SATA. While that is pretty decent speed compared to a moving parts hard drive, such as an HDD, hard disk drive, it's faster than that. However, there are other SSDs that run way faster than SATA. Those are the NVMe's, and those have read and write speeds at 1,000 or more, 1,000 megabytes per second or more. With SATA, you're looking between 350 and 500, depending on what you're transferring or reading and writing. So, like I said, that's still kind of fast, but not as fast as the fastest that's available. And there's no workaround for that because that is soldered inside of the computer. In fact, you can't open this at all, so that you can't even try to upgrade this, even if you wanted to. So, scratch it out of the book. You're stuck with SATA. So, other than that's all I have as far as things that, kind of deter me from liking this computer all the way. But like I said, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cons, I have 4 of them with asterisks next to it, and I'm going to show you the workarounds for those particular cons to make this a very usable PC. Okay, as far as the situation of this computer running hot when you're playing graphically intense games, here's my solution. Well, you've seen in one of my videos that I've used for the GPD Win 2, I figured out to use an external fan on the GPD Win 2 to blow on the back to help the hot air escape the GPD Win 2 to keep it much more cooler so that you can play it much longer instead of getting the heat sink for it. Now with this, like I said, you can't take it apart, so you want to figure out a way to, I just showed you, cool it down. And like I said, it does have the dual cooling system on the inside, but that might not just work all the time. So what you wanted to do, and this was my idea for it, was to again get external fans for this computer. And I happened to come across these that are on Amazon. These are made by a company called FlyDigi. I've known about this company because they make telescopic Bluetooth controllers for Android phones, and they are really good. I really like their first Wii controller. The second one is, pretty cool too, but the configuration is terrible. I just got 2 of them this week and had to return both of them because they didn't pair as quickly as the first one for my Note 9. But like I said, good company. So found these fans. These are called FlyDigi Wasp fans. Excuse me. What's cool about these? Because they have suction cups, you can put them right on the back. Boom here, boom here. They have 300 milliamp batteries on the inside, and when you turn on the fans, look at the pretty cool color lights. I already have, like I said, the batteries on the inside, and it has 3 fan settings. Now listen, do you hear it? Not that much. That's on low speed. Medium speed. Not that bad, right? Right. Here's high speed. Sounds just as loud as having an embedded fan on the computer. So what's cool about these fans, instead of blowing hot air out, is blowing cool air onto the back cover of the computer. And look at the LED lights. That is so cool. Makes them look like graphics cards, which is pretty awesome. So like I said, blowing hot air onto the surface to keep the surface cool as you're playing. How cool is that? So that's a good solution. And again, they have 300 milliamp batteries on the inside, so they can run that way. Plus, they're charged by micro USB. And so what I thought about for myself is, how can I keep these fans running all the time? But since they run on a separate cord, how to get these both on one cord to put in one port. So I bought this Y splitter to connect both of them to one port to, I love that kicks in. Put inside of here. Boom. Put inside of there. They're still running, and they're being charged at the same time, so you don't have to worry about running out of cool air. So that is a really cool solution when you're playing graphically intense games to keep your computer cool as you're playing. So that's that particular solution. And you gotta admit, that is an excellent solution. Just as great as the GPD Win idea that I had in a video that I've shown already. So for the next thing, lack of ports. Now this is an easy solution because these mini docks are being sold on Amazon and eBay. They've been sold for a while. So these mini docks, and you can get different arrays of these. So you can get some with HDMI, like the one I have here. You can get some with USB ports. Mine has 3 USB Type A ports. And not only that, I also have on the bottom of this mini dock 2 card slots, one for a micro SD and one for a regular SD. So you can expand your storage to a pretty good amount. So they have micro SD cards that are as large as 1 terabyte, and they have SD cards as large as 1 terabyte. So if you buy all of those, if you have that kind of money, which I don't, you can get, because I have 3 USB Type A ports. I have this peripheral here, a micro SD card reader. You can put a 1 terabyte card in each of the slots to give you 3 terabytes of space, plus the 512 already embedded. This also has a micro SD card reader right on the bottom, and I have a 512 already in there. But you can also get a 1 terabyte for that one too. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 terabytes micro SD plus the 512 already embedded. That's 4.5 gigabytes of space on just one computer. You can put a lot of stuff in there. Plus, with the card readers in the bottom, you can do a gigabyte micro and a gigabyte SD card. That's another 2 terabytes you can have, for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terabytes if you got that kind of money. Let's just hope that for Black Friday those terabyte cards will be inexpensive, and if they are, I'm buying a ton of them so that I can have a ton of space on this computer and put as many games as I want. So what is going to be reading and writing a lot slower than the SATA, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to be pretty happy just because I have all of that space available. So lack of ports, that mini dock is a good buy. And I already showed you before, I mean, if you want to carry this and have the extra docks, USB ports and things like that, you can carry your graphics card around. But this makes things a lot better, a lot easier to port. Okay, I also said can't hold it with one hand very long. Well, that quick solution for that is I bought this on Amazon, this nice little strap here. Kickstand down, put your hand through here. Nice, great, thick Velcro. Hold it with one hand, bam, solution done. So this still gonna be kind of heavy, but you can hold it a little bit longer than just holding it without this strap, handle strap. So that's the solution for that. I mean, not the best solution, but better than nothing. And the last thing, well, I already talked about it. 512 gigabytes is good, but not that great. Well, I just showed you all the different ports and things with the mini dock that I have on Velcro right onto my computer. And it doesn't look that bad either. I mean, it looks a little messy, but like I said, once you organize all this and put all this down, it's great. It's definitely great. It doesn't protrude that much, and so like I said, just having everything right here available for me, my space, holding it with one hand, my fans. This makes this an excellent computer because, like I said, with the NVIDIA graphics card already embedded, that's just a fantastic deal. So that is my basic comprehensive review on this computer. Of course, I'm going to make some videos showing you games running on the NVIDIA MX150 and with the graphics dock attached to the computer so that you can see the difference in frame rates and things like that. So lots of videos to come on that. Other videos to show, me using it at work. For example, when I'm teaching rhythmic notation and, I got everything right here. And using this particular thing right here, this particular thing is called Snip and Sketch. Awesome because you can draw on the screen. So I can show the kids, hey, this is what you need to see right here. Fantastic. It works just like any 2-in-1 drawable PC. So that's awesome. I love it. I'm happy. I'm going to be using this for a good while because until somebody else steps up to the plate. And I forgot to mention too, another con are the large bezels. Takes away from your real estate. But that's not a too big a video, even though it does look pretty ugly, these bezels. But I like the Windows Hello, so I'm cool with that. So until another company comes around and figures out how to make a 2-in-1 PC detachable keyboard with an NVIDIA graphics card embedded with smaller bezels, the way that I want it, and lighter, kind of like the Samsung Galaxy Book, I will be sold and will get that. But until then, this is the only one that's on the market that fits everything that I want and need in a PC. So that is my comprehensive review on the Acer Acer Switch 7. If you liked the video, definitely leave a thumbs up below. I'm gonna put all the peripherals and accessories that I've bought for this in the comment section, so that if you want to get that for your own PC, then you can do so. But like I said, if you like the video, leave that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.